Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus once again, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. I have again a wonderful message I'd like to share with you. And it's coming to you live from station WEBM. That's wonderful, Eddie B. Marcus, operating smack down from the top of the sky, the spiritual realm, down to wherever you are. And I hope this message flows through you, around you, about you, and before you, the same as the blood that flows through your veins, and that you might live. Thank you. You know, I was thinking about how much information I've given to you, I've made available to you about myself. And I thought about this because I saw a couple of candidates running for office, and they had their little sound bites on television that I don't know how much money they paid to get there, but they only say 2 or 3 seconds. And I'm thinking that perhaps you might know more about me than any of those guys that are running for office. And you know very little about what their real proposals are that is accommodated by plans. Well, I've made that available to you since the beginning. And I just want to think about why I keep doing it. And I have to say that it's because it's real in my life. It's something that I want. It's something that I've dreamed about all my life, and I've wanted for everybody on earth to want it, to want to live in peace, to be prosperous in life, and to be joyous about living. I've wanted it since the day can remember knowing anything about, hey, quit that, girl. About 10, well, let's say 40, at least 40 years ago, I recognized that in order for something as magnificent as this to happen, it must be made to happen, not evolve into it like a human, like a monkey, a fish evolving into a human being. No, it's not taking that amount of time. All it's taking is an awakening. And so I have been, and mine was predicated upon something that was so miraculous to me that it gave legitimacy to what I had heard about, something called God. Never really knowing, but what I had heard and read and seen in movies, it kind of gave me an idea of what I thought about God. But there was something that happened so miraculously, it made it easy for me to not only believe in a God, but to know that there is a God. And when I search inside of myself, I like me. In fact, I love me. I love me so much that I give special honor to whatever power is responsible for me being here. And as I embrace these dreams and excitements about myself, I have to think that every last human being on the face of the earth feels the same way about themselves. And if they do not, it is because of some prejudice that they are experiencing in their lives that makes it regrettable. And I believe with all of the love that I can muster up, it is the responsibility of those who do not experience that. Smooth the road for those that do. And why do I believe that? I believe that because I know it works. I know it works. And so I'm believing that if we, all of us, submit to such an action, we'll work it out so it's divine. We'll have that peace and that prosperity. Now, at the same time, I know that there are many of you who say that anyone that believes in some mystical God has got to be out of their minds. I also believe that everybody who's experienced that kind of miracle that I have just mentioned to you, you know, the burning bush kind, knows that there is a God. Now, what degree they are in that knowledge, well, that varies, I'm sure. But for me, for those of you who don't believe in God at all, I'm not trying to force you to believe in God. I'll just say to you, and to you alone, that it's me. It's something that I want. And I'm not ashamed to admit it. I want it in my lifetime. I want the children and the people of China to live a glorious life. I want them to be so excited about life till death never crossed their minds. People in Russia, people in Iran, people in Africa, people in America, 7 continents and the 8th one that's hiding somewhere under a rock. Wherever you are, I want every last one of you to be so thrilled pink that you are alive and that you have the opportunity to do that which is you, and you recognize the necessity of it in the finished product of what we reach so high to acquire. I want this in my lifetime before I die, and I'm an old dude, you can see, and I might just die any time. So this is not some dream I have for some distant future. I'm not giving my life for a distant future. I'm giving it for right now. Right now. And it doesn't take some tippy-toe walk way in the future to evolve to this. No, it takes an awakening in your own mind. In your own mind. Recognize that all that is, all existence in its totality, the only role that man has in it is that part which has been designed for man to have in it. The creation of the earth, man wasn't involved in that. The air, the oxygen, the clouds, the skies, the trees, the grass, and all the magnificent things that we call natural, man was not even consulted in that. Even the fact that man was to exist, man wasn't consulted, man was made. And for a purpose. To be an expression of that great power that was able to manifest us. And to go about the business as the Father, so the children. To build and create, to evolve daily. And so when we look at all of the harmony that plays a part in life and how it goes, and when something seems to be out of order, how confusing it can be, when we look at the fires in the West, and we think about how devastating it is, when we think about the storms in the East, when we think about how atrocious that is, when we think about the tsunamis in China and everywhere that hell breaks loose, when we think about it, can frighten us, can it? And if we are not experiencing it, we say, thank God. But what about those that are? Think about the roles that we play in our daily lives, living in a system that denies the reality of you. So many of you who are without. Why is that? You've been robbed. You've been taken advantage of in our ignorance and in our lack of knowledge. There have been those who work within secret societies who have designed programs, who have designed plans, who have designed nations to do exactly what it's doing, to achieve exactly, and then to take us in a position where the people, the masses, suffer more while the few. And so it's just simple to me that if there is a God, for which I am sure that there is, that this is the way it is designed to be for whatever reason. Some of us know God, and we're supposed and will walk as though we know God, as least according to the spiritual guidance of that spirit. And those of us who don't want, and will do all of these other things. For those who believe in God, those others got a problem. For those that don't believe in God, the other ones that do got a problem. Isn't it amazing how that stuff is? But if you take a look at those who don't believe in God, and you look at the world where they lie, cheat, and steal, and how the powers are torn down to the point that one man can dictate and control you because they will kill you. And your fear of death and your lust for life is so magnificent that you allow yourselves to become slaves and prisoners of life simply because you don't know the truth. The truth of it is that the power that made you, saves you, keep you. It is why you live that determines your acceptance to death. If you live in love, you're not afraid of dying, because love will provide everything. And if you don't know not love, you don't trust anything. And so you'll give up everything just to save one thing. And that one thing can't even save you, because it finds itself on the broad way, walking along with so many others just like you, going through a wide gate, and they say it leads to destruction. And so when I speak to you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not trying to preach to you, but I know I'm saying some things that most of you have already thought about. And all you need is for somebody to stand up and tell you that you were right on. And you are right on. And so, having said that, I don't want to just throw something out to you without participating in it myself. And so I've asked the people of the state of Minnesota, and I'm asking them to choose this way of life, this way of thinking, when they consider the next Senate representative from the state of Minnesota. And I'm asking that they choose me as a write-in candidate. I'm not on any ballot. Republicans don't think this way. Democrats don't think this way. And only ones that I know of, here's one. And I'm banking and believing in the rest of you that you're ready for this change. And so you'll write my name on the ballot. And how will I be known is because the message that I'm sharing with you is so genuine with you. Till you got to tell somebody. Somebody says when the spirit hits you, you got to move. I mean, you got to move. So if this truth hits you, you got to do what you got to do. Now, if it does not hit you, I'm not mad. I'm not mad with you. I feel sad, but I'm not mad. I'm sad because I know you'll be on your knees praying to God tonight or tomorrow for that which I tell you God says is already provided. All you got to do is stop believing and start doing. And you would rather pray? I'm not mad when I look out and I see people still unable to access education in the liberty which it was designed, when they can't access health care in the same way, when they can't have those careers for which they were designed to give their input. I'm not mad. I'm sad. But somewhere I heard somebody say that one day we shall overcome. And it might be an individual thing, no doubt. But to feel the magnificence of it is when we're all embraced in it. Think for a moment. You got all of your requirements for survival met. You got the things that make you feel wonderful being met. No struggles is there for you. And you are exercising your gifts in a capacity that makes you feel like an angel. Now, what do you have to fuss about? What do you have to lie about? What do you have to cheat about? And yet, there will be those that will do that. Now, what is their motivation? What is their motivation? That motivation that they have to do these things that they do should not be shared with you. They should be so far away from your mind until you never even want to hear of it. But when you do, you must move. And so for those of you who don't know what makes these evil ones, I call them evil because they want to destroy, they want to conquer, they want to divide, and they'll do everything that you know is wrong. They'll do it and try to justify it. And so what I'm saying to you, those of you who know exactly what I'm talking about, who are well aware of what I'm talking about, who haven't totally committed your soul and your fullness of your soul by the expression of your body to God yet, we have to show haters what love is. We have to do that so that they can perhaps see soon, as soon as soon as soon. And at the same time, we must be representative of those that are looking closely, reaching high, can see it in those that know what love is. So I guess I seem to be just rambling now. I'm enjoying speaking to you so much. I know those of you who are sitting there who are listening to this, you are just, you're feeling so warm inside. You're feeling warm because you know that I'm telling the truth. And you're so glad and you're hoping it has an effect. And those of you who do not like it, you're warm inside because you are hot. And that's good too, because I'm touching you. And that's what it's all about. Basic human rights for everybody to love or to hate. But we want love to capture hate with love. Until next time, this is Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for you. Bye-bye.